I'm pissed, I admit it, and you better get that way too, or we're going to lose everything. COVID-19, coronavirus, whatever you want to call it, this mass hysteria, this absolute scare-demic, I won't call it a pandemic, this scare-demic is all designed to do one thing: eliminate the presidency of Donald J. Trump. No matter what he does, no matter what he says, it's never right. First, he didn't take the crisis serious enough. Then, he's taking it too serious. In December, when he enacted a travel ban regarding China, he was being xenophobic. Now, he enacts a travel ban against Europe. He's again being called by Jim Acosta xenophobic. This is beyond the pale. He's either too serious, he's not serious enough. He's either creating hysteria or he's not mentally up to the task of protecting the American people. And he's using his prejudice to further a warped agenda. And it goes on and on and on the way the media portrays President Trump. Now I have to admit, I'm upset. And I'm upset for a variety of reasons. More people will die this year from the regular flu, from pneumonia, than will die in this country from the coronavirus. Here's why young people and people in general are buying into this hysteria. I call it the zombie effect, or the Walking Dead. You know, all of these apocalyptic TV shows and movies that we have been spoon-fed for about the past 15 years, this genre of movie where there's a contagion and all of a sudden half the planet is wiped out and there's just these pocket groups of lone survivors and they're trying to make it to a safe haven, to an oasis, but they've got to deal with mutant, warped individuals who have been affected by the contagion. That is why young people right now are scared to death and buying into this crapola. The ability to be able to think and reason and process real information, it's gone right out the window. And for those of you that told me not too long ago,
Pastor Marty, you're really overreacting, thinking that somehow the Democrats and the media could work together to create a recession. Donald Trump's economy is too strong. They can't do it. You really don't know what you're talking about.
Are you paying attention to what's happening with Wall Street right now? Are you figuring any of this out? What's really going on right now? Let's start with China. They knew they had a problem. We know that they're into propaganda, so they don't want to tell people what the problem is. But at some point, the Chinese officials realized, aha, this is a way we can get back at Trump and the United States for the trade war. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Starting to kick in a little bit. Do you think maybe they let it go so it became a problem? I mean, it solves two problems for them. A, they're already overpopulated, and what a way to thin out the herd. Two, by shutting down industry over there, it affects us. Not just your iPhone, but apparently toilet paper. I don't know what it is that everybody and their brother is going to supermarkets and Costco and Sam's Club and Stuff Mart and just having a apparent pandemic of diarrhea that we have to sell out every stinking roll of toilet paper. Tucker Carlson is right. If we have learned nothing else through this little process, it ought to scare you to death how much of what we depend on is manufactured in China, especially our medication, our technology. Hey, If I had money to invest and I had the wherewithal and a team of people that I could rely on to pull it off, I would be starting businesses right now. I would start looking at things that are made in China that could be made right here, right now. Hey, if you want to blame anybody for coronavirus, don't look at Donald Trump. Look at the globalists. Look at the Barack Obamas. Look at the Bushes. I'm talking about daddy and son of daddy. You know, this whole new world empire that we were going to be in control of because it's a world market and yada, 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 crapola. This is what globalism has gotten us. Now, on the one hand, I understand why the president did what he did yesterday. Some of it is a brilliant 4D chess move on his part. Watch the Democrats now try to explain why they can't do a payroll tax freeze. And yet, at the same time, they're screaming that we've got to do something about the coronavirus. See, they've created this hysteria to scare people. We've got a panic going on Wall Street. We're losing all of our gains. Now, Rush Limbaugh, of course, is talking about today when it comes back, and it will come back. It will. It'll come back when people are sick and tired of being lied to. When they start figuring out that it's tragic we've had 19 deaths in this country. How many people have died so far this year from auto accidents? You have 84 that are dead in the city of Chicago alone since January due to gang-related, drug-related violence. But we have 19 people dead in a country, do some math, of over 300 million people. We have what? 100,000 coronavirus cases worldwide? 100,000 out of 8 billion people? 8 billion, billion? It's staggering. It is beyond staggering, the hysteria, the propaganda behind all of this. Democrats are doing it because it can hurt Donald Trump. Look what's happening to the economy right now. There's that recession that none of you said isn't going to happen. Think about now even not doing trade with Europe, what that's going to trickle down to our economy. And it's not just about not having products and stuff. How many in the shipping industry, and I'm talking about over-the-road truck drivers, trains, they got no business right now. Do you understand why the media is hyping this? This is their silver bullet against Donald Trump. And hey, what perfect timing. They're in the process of nominating a guy to represent them who is not only incoherent, he has dementia. He is a walking proof of senior adult abuse. This man shouldn't even be driving a car, let alone running for the office of president. He can't string coherent sentences together. It's funny, I said yesterday, apparently prophetically, that now Joe Biden, once Bernie is officially out, he won't really have to campaign. And he won't have to worry about debate stages until he finally dukes it out with Trump. Because now they can put him in carefully crafted situations where they can script what he says and how he interacts. And today, the Biden campaign officially announces that he's going to hold virtual events. That's code for no more rallies. Of course, nobody goes to his rallies anyway, so he doesn't have to be embarrassed by nobody showing up. And he can sit in a camera situation, be spoon-fed a few lines, made to look intelligent, coherent, They'll splice in videotapes and footage of him with Obama and make it like little mockumentaries. And the media is more than willing to help spread this propaganda, and every social media platform will just create more space for him to do this. And in the meantime, Donald Trump's greatest strength are his rallies. And of course now,
well, for health concerns, we better not gather this many people in a concentrated area, or there will be dangerous health problems. And if the president really cares about people...
Now, the president could try to hold virtual events. You think the media is going to help promote any of that? Think they're going to carry any of that? And again, you and I who are Trump supporters, we're on board. We're okay whether he holds another rally or not. What the rallies do is it shows the mainstream of America that Trump is not this lunatic that the media beats him up on day in and day out. That the Democrats and Mad Maxine Waters with her bad James Brown wig and her screaming, get in their faces, impeach 45, all of this propaganda crapola, these coups and takedowns of the president. When he holds a rally and there's these thousands of people and he's engaged and the people are responding, independents and people who casually pay attention to this stuff go, wow, he really is a good communicator, a good president. This is all designed to take down Trump, and we are becoming complicit in it. I'm even watching Republican governors, like the governor of Ohio, getting ready to follow the example of Cuomo over there in the People's Republic of New York. We're going to have quarantines. We're going to limit the size of gatherings. March Madness is now going to be played in empty gymnasiums. The NBA is canceled for the rest of the season. Major League Baseball is considering pulling the plug on spring training. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Yes, I'm a pastor. I think about how's this going to affect church attendance. I do. We've got some events coming up, special events we have planned for, events that, yes, we have spent considerable money in preparing and promoting. And at the end of the day, the Republicans that are going along with this are doing so because there's all this pressure that if you don't care about people. The Democrats have effectively weaponized a virus. There you have it. The only way this nightmare ends is if we, the people, rebel. I'm going to tell you what I've told my church, what I put on our church's social media platforms. Be smart. But Psalm 46:10 is still in the Bible. Be still and know that I am God. So what do? Breathe. Count to 10 and follow some basic principles. Good hygiene. Yes, disinfect surfaces in your home, especially your kitchen, your bathroom areas, living room. We're doing the same in our church facilities. If you're sick, stay home. If your children are sick, keep them home. Cover your mouth when you cough. Wash your hands. And at the end of the day, a little bit of faith and common sense, boom, done. We need to rebel against this. No, I'm not saying get on a jet plane and fly to banned countries that have an epidemic going on. But again, at the end of the day, this hysteria that's being created, there's more and more cases being reported because more people are now being tested. Yes, the numbers are going to go up. The truth is, there are probably people who have it right now that don't even know they have it because of the way the symptoms are. And there may be some people who have already had it and over it and didn't even know they had it to begin with. The curve on this is usually the young and the old. This time, it's really just the old. They're the ones in danger. Yet we're closing schools. But it's older people, senior adults, who already have a history of health issues, are in chronically declining health even now. They don't have the immunity and the ability within their system to fight it off if they get it. And if Bernie Sanders had had his way, and if AOC gets her way about, we got to have health care for all, and we got to make sure we take all of the profits from pharmaceuticals and give it away, those profits, because of the private health insurance, the way we have it set up in this country, so that pharmaceutical industries are making profits, they can now pour all that money into the development, and if we just get out of their way, there will be vaccines a-coming. I'm angry because I'm watching even some conservative media outlets play into this hysteria. Tom Hanks has it! Okay, he's also in Australia filming a movie. And he and his wife, they're going to be okay. Even his son came out and said, Dad's okay. No, he's got it. Hollywood's reacting. Hollywood reacted yesterday to the president's address. John Cryer, from 2.5 Men, really ought to call it A Perv, a Dimwit, and a Kid. That should have been the name of the show. Or I guess you could say a drug addict, a dimwit, and a kid. John Cryer. President Trump is not smart enough to handle this. I mean, Hollywood is bat crap crazy. The media playing into all of this, and I'm watching even so-called Republican conservative people, well, we better take this serious, and I think really we ought to limit the size of crowds to 200 people and start closing the school. Oh, get a grip! Honestly, seriously, get a grip! I don't doubt that this economy will come roaring back. But when? When it's too late? When the media, with the propaganda, the hysteria, the Democrats, and the way they're going to redefine how this campaign is going to be handled because they got a crazy man running? And if they can create enough fear and panic, that loon actually gets himself elected because they... At what point do they start proposing, as we get closer to November, we're going to have to change the way people vote. We can't have all these people congregating in polling places. Karl Marx once said, Joseph Stalin once said, people who vote decide nothing. People who count the votes, they decide everything. I told you they were going to try to create a recession. And you told me, Pastor Marty, you are wrong in your assessment. Take a look at what's coming. The only way any of this ends, the only way is we, the people, have to rebel. Live your life. Live your life. Show up for events. Don't let your school cancel stuff. As parents, demand, stay open. Have events. I'm hearing about kids having their music concerts canceled and their sporting events canceled. This is insanity. Because again, we're caught up in the hysteria. It's going to be like The Walking Dead, and we're just going to, a few of us huddled in a house, and we're going to know what to do, and then there'll be like weird mutant zombie people out there who got COVID-19. And that's the way we're actually looking at people now. There are people looking, I'm sure, at the Hanks like, ooh, they got it. Weren't the Hanks coming over to our summer soiree? We might have to cancel their invitation. Do Do you see this? This is lunacy, hysteria being played out in front of us. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't go along with this. Shame on you Republican governors. Shame on you Republican lawmakers that are buying into this. On the one hand, yes, Trump has put the Democrats in a hard position. They're going to have to vote for a tax freeze, or they don't care about people. But President Trump, they hate you no matter what you do. You saw this coming in December. When you tried to warn everybody, you were labeled as a fanatic, a fruitcake. When you then tried to dissuade the fears and the hysteria, you weren't taking it serious enough. They're making fun of you now. Why, you hear the president talk? Why, he's been on this right from the beginning. We know that he's stupid. So, Mr. President, no matter what you do in this scenario, they're going to attack you. So do the common sense thing. You've got that in spades. You do that better than any politician ever. Keep doing that. Do the common sense thing. Do the smart thing. Everybody else does the stupid thing. You know, I was telling somebody today, even as a pastor, I have a set of 10 commandments that are different than God's, although I go along with God's 10 commandments, but I got a few of my own. One of those commands is, thou shalt not follow the advice of idiots. Another one is, sometimes you can't fix stupid. And let me quote my favorite Bible theologian, John Wayne. Life is tough, and it's tougher if you're stupid. And right now, we are doing some stupid things and we're following some stupid advice. Be careful. Be conscientious. Live your life. Live it. Be smart about it. And also see some of this for what it is. Certain people trying to figure out how to limit gatherings, restrict freedom, force you more into an isolated virtual world. Why is that? Because then they know where you are and what you're doing. Here we go. Here we go. And it only ends when we get mad and refuse to participate.
It's Corona time. Hey, it's Corona time right now.
How much? How much? All right, I'll take one. Thank you. Hey, is it?
One roll.
All right. Thank you.
Stop the corona insanity. You're too smart to be played for stupid. Thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up, give us a like, spread this video.